Fam, what's good? This your boy Thou, FamOverTV. What's popping with y'all though? Look, appreciate everybody tapping into the channel, showing love, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Please make sure y'all hit that like button. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. I don't know if y'all seen that. India said they landed on the moon and everything, but we gonna get into some of those videos, man. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Some Cointel Pro videos and stuff, but make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Let's get into it.
Fam over.
This comment on my YouTube video about Martin Luther King Jr. that's basically saying if the FBI was known for doing all of these things and making false narratives about people that they hated, how do I know what you're saying about MLK isn't a lie too? Well, for starters, the FBI admitted to basically everything that they ever did to Martin Luther King Jr. Over 100 pages of declassified FBI documents that admit to their stalking, harassing, wiretapping. The whole COINTELPRO operation on Martin Luther King Jr. is in these documents. Just Google Martin Luther King FBI documents and it will be the first link that pops up. Here's a direct quote from the former assistant director of the FBI, William Sullivan. He said that in the war against King, no holds were barred. Says that from late 63 until the assassination of King, he was the target of an intensive campaign by the FBI to neutralize him as an effective civil rights leader. Not a communist, not a terrorist, a civil rights leader. I've read through all these documents and you should too. And then go watch my YouTube video.
Listen. We know this. Come on now. Even for those of you who knew about Rashad Jamal, right, who just came into, knowing a lot of information, and those of you who found out a lot of information by knowing about Rashad Jamal, right? Even Rashad Jamal told y'all about COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO is the reason why he locked up right now, but y'all don't want to believe this shit. Guess what? Coincidentally, Rashad Jamal is locked up for the same exact reasons as Malachi Z. York. You know why? Because they know that all they gotta do is say somebody did something to a kid and everybody is gonna believe them, no matter who they are. Well, if that's the case, then what the is going on with the society of the leaders who running this show? Because we all know what they do. And ain't nobody persecuting them. Something wrong with y'all. For real. COINTELPRO, FBI, it says their whole #1 mission is to prevent the coalition of militant black nationalist groups. Prevent the rise of a messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black nationalist movement. Prevent the rise of a messiah. I'm gonna read it again so you can feel this shit. They want to, your government, they want to prevent the rise of a messiah who can unify and electrify the black community. What are you talking about? This shit is not fake. And this shit is not no conspiracy. Well, yes it is. It is a conspiracy. Because you have motherfuckers conspiring against you. So it is a conspiracy. Because they damn sure could be conspiring against you for a very long time. Number 3 though. Prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to the community. This is on their top list. They do the same thing over and over again. And every time our shit just fall because of the same shit that... Ain't no way. Prevent militant black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability by discrediting them to the community. Ain't that what they did with Malachi Z. York? Ain't that what they did with Rashad Jamal? A final goal should be to prevent the long-range growth of militant black nationalist organizations, especially among the youth. Bro, do you hear this? And y'all, do you hear this? Their final goal is to prevent the long-range growth of militant black national organizations. So their whole goal is to stop. If you organize, their goal is to stop you from organizing for too long. Especially if you can be the next Messiah who can lead your people to the truth. And y'all think that they don't lie on people. They've been lying on us since they got here. All they know how to do is lie. They are master deceivers. That's what they do. 135 years with not a lick of...
You cannot discuss the nature of gang stalking and the techniques and tactics used without bringing up COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was a project that officially ran from 1956 to 1971 by the FBI under Director Hoover. These were the official goals of this program. 1, prevent the rise of a black messiah. Prevent them from unifying and electrifying a black army. Prevent the coalition of black militant nationalist groups, such as the Black Panthers, whom they completely destroyed from within using our own people to do it. Number 3, prevent us from getting violent. Number 4, prevent military black nationalist groups and leaders from gaining respectability. Number 5, prevent the black militant groups from indoctrinating the youth. So if you wonder why I get banned and blocked all the time for saying absolutely nothing at all, it's because apparently my words could effectively electrify someone else that looks like me. I'm not saying I'm the black messiah. Trust me, I know that's not true. But I do believe that the influence that you could have on the youth from an app such as this is very, very dangerous in their eyes. COINTELPRO is a stain on America's commitment to the rule of law. Fred Hampton was murdered. You need to look him up, and you need to look up every leader that was involved with the Black Panther group. Most of them were assassinated or jailed, and the whole group was completely destroyed from within by slandering and discrediting people. Disrupting domestic political organizations, surveillance, infiltration. Now, officially, these programs stopped, but do you believe that they stopped? I'm telling you right now, they didn't stop at all. They continued, and they combined with other very sick and sadist technology that was created by the CIA.
Hey, what y'all think about this COINTELPRO stuff, y'all? Do y'all think they really be using this on all our, prominent black leaders that try to give us a positive message or teach us something and everything? Do they use this against them and try to knock them down so they can't deliver a message or what? Y'all think they still using it till today? I'm sure they are. Are they using it with celebrities and athletes and all that stuff too? You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all know what's going on. It's like, shit. That's what I was talking about earlier. We be knowing about this stuff going on, but what can we do? I mean, we just gonna keep on just knowing about it, just turning the cheek and just letting it happen, or what can we do? We got the numbers, but we got to be together. Make sure y'all like the video. Let's keep it going. Let me know what y'all think.
CIA, FBI.
This is no good. Common, you've been taking money from the mob for years.
Gentlemen, forgive me for caping you. Dorset. No matter how we try to deny it, we always end up on the same side of the coin. It's almost funny.
To be quite honest, it turns my stomach.
Neither your stomach nor your opinion matters here, Dorset. What matters is that Mr. Tynan's clients and the Bureau have come up with a solution to our Panther problem.
Final solution, you might say. The clients, of course, are very pleased that Mr. Hoover decided to take our little suggestion to heart. By the way, why did he change his mind?
Woman's intuition.
Are you sure that you can control the product? Can you assure us that this will not get out of hand?
Of course. Our clients have vast experience in these communities. It's just a matter of degrees. You give us free reign of the ghetto, we solve your problems. I'll assure you one thing. The pacifying qualities of heroin are quite formidable. Junkies' politics are not like yours and mine. I'll even read the future for you. Very soon, the jig... No offense. The will be wanting this stuff so bad, they'll be running around trying to sell, they'll be blowing each other's brains out.
It's not a racial issue, it's a matter of law and order.
Of course, at any rate. We just set them up, and we step back.
When can you get it out in the streets?
This sounds like exactly how they played us. Listen.
Quick as possible. Manufacture and distribute from a warehouse. Dorset knows the lookout.
I reiterate, we need assurances on containment. that it stays strictly within the problem area. I want you to put somebody on this. Keep tabs on the new operation. No offense.
You talked as if this thing's been decided.
Footnote number 62 in my government means to kill me. J. Edgar Hoover was the first and longest-serving director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. As FBI director, Hoover abused his power to spy on political figures and used what he uncovered as blackmail material. He also circulated unfounded rumors to damage people he deemed subversive, while the rumor was never substantiated. Hoover
Man, J. Edgar Hoover was a motherfucker. They say he was making up rumors and everything. He was doing anything to kill your character, whatever. Hoover out cold, huh?
Was widely suspected of being a homosexual. He lived with his mother into his 40s. He never married. And for more than 30 years, he worked alongside, usually ate lunch with, frequented nightclubs and racetracks with, vacationed with, and bequeathed his estate to fellow bachelor and associate director of the FBI, Clyde Tolson.
And I heard some rumors about J. Edgar Hoover. They say he was like one of the first. They say he went that other way. They said dog was part of that community. They say he was a softball. I mean, I don't know. That's what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Make sure y'all like the video, though.
Okay, we think about the government back then. It was a thing called Cointel Pro. So Cointel Pro was started by J. Edgar Hoover. So his thing was to stop the Black Messiah, right? So any black organization at that time that had any type of traction was considered, a threat to the United States government. So they labeled them as black militant organizations. So you know what I'm saying? Jeff Ford now got labeled as a black militant organization, and they set them up. They tried to get them to buy some rocket launchers. And then when they went to buy the rocket launchers, the feds showed up, and then that's how they all got indicted. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, they start saying that, these is terrorists. You know what I'm saying? They try to hit us with the terrorists, hit them with the terrorist thing first, but J. Edgar Hoover been started that.
One of the most disliked white men in the black community, allegedly, was black himself. That rumor doesn't surprise those who observe some of those blacks who pass over and become white bigots to cover their tracks, or perhaps they just suffer from self-hatred. But it sent Millie McGee back to her family tree in Macomb, Mississippi, to see if the man who became synonymous with the FBI and hatred of Martin Luther King Jr. was himself her cousin, who had gone through the special Underground Railroad built from the South to Washington, D.C., for blacks who looked white enough to live as white people.
Thank you very much for being with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Your book, Secrets Uncovered, J. Edgar Hoover, Passing for White. And I said passing for white because there's a question mark. Why the title, Passing for White, question mark?
Because when I first started writing the book, I did not realize that J. Edgar Hoover was actually in my lineage, and I was told it was rumors in the family that he was, and just rumors. So I knew that I had to put question mark until I did some research and made out for sure that he was a part of the family.
Now, this is a pretty serious charge, and not because there's anything wrong with being black, but because of the other implications. Do you feel comfortable making this charge that J. Edgar Hoover, are you saying in effect he was black? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying in fact that I'm a black woman and he is in my family lineage. He is a part of my family. I don't necessarily like it. I didn't even know it when I started it. But when I found it out, I was looking for my great-great-grandmother, who is Emily Allen, who had babies by his ancestors. And after doing my research, after 2.5 years of research, I have, without a shadow of a doubt.
Man, it's hard for me to believe this, though. I mean, he might have had some black in him and he just didn't know or something. Or, I mean, if he did know, how could you know this? You got black in you and you treating us like that. You was doing all that dirty stuff to us and being part of that program and trying to keep our leaders and everything from not, you know what I'm saying, getting to that next level or passing the word or spreading the message to us or helping us learn something and everything. How could you be like that if he was, allegedly, y'all? It's all allegedly. We don't know. I definitely don't think J. Edgar Hoover was black though, but I don't know. Make sure y'all like the video.
In my heart and the documents showing that he is a part of our lineage. Now, to say that he's passing for white or he is black, I personally wouldn't say that. I would say that he has black blood in his veins.
One of my favorite records on the album, you make a Spook Who Sat by the Door reference.
You know about that, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I read that book, but I don't think you a spook who sat by the door. I think your intentions are pretty clear.
Well, now I would say so, but even to the point we made earlier, that's one of the reasons I was so vocal about where I was coming from and what I represented, because I knew who I wanted to mobilize. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna name my last album "The Spook That Sat by the Door." You know what I mean? When I finished my situation with our partnership at Atlantic. And for anybody that ain't seen that book, seen that movie or read the book, it's about a gang member from Chicago who, presented himself in a way he never caught no cases. He had a clean cut look, and he infiltrated the CIA.
Yep.
And he became educated and basically he used their agenda, which was to have a token nigga in the CIA for political reasons. You know, we gonna speak blunt, fuck it. He used it against him. And I think that in terms of hip hop, you think of the message that they embrace, I feel parallel with, like, you know what I mean? The power structure. I don't mean the culture of hip hop, but the power structure of music. They got prescribed personas they expect from us. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way he used their intention against him was one of my underlying strategies. You know what I'm saying?
Spook Who Sat by the Door. He infiltrated the CIA. He went to work for them to help us. And they thought he was like coming to work for them to help their agenda with us. But it's crazy. I'm gonna have to go watch that, man. I tried looking for it one time. I don't think I found it. I'm gonna have to go watch that, check it out. Rest up to Nip though, man. Nipsey was that guy. I like Nipsey, man. Appreciate everybody in the building. Make sure y'all like that video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep it going though, man. They talking about J. Edgar Hoover was black, man. Yeah, right, man. Let me get back to that interview. She was, I don't know, man.
Disliked white men in the black community, allegedly was black himself.
Let's go.
If the man who became synonymous with the
When I first started writing the book, I did not realize that J. Edgar Hoover was actually in my lineage, and I was told it was rumors in the family that he was, and just rumors. So I knew that I had to put question mark until I did some research and made out for sure that he was a part of the family.
Now, this is a pretty serious charge, and not because there's anything wrong with being black, but because of the other implications. Do you feel comfortable making this charge that J. Edgar Hoover, are you saying in effect he was black? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying in fact that I'm a black woman and he is in my family lineage. He is a part of my family. I don't necessarily like it. I didn't even know it when I started it, but when I found it out, I was looking for my great-great-grandmother, who is Emily Allen, who had babies by his ancestors. And after doing my research, after 2.5 years of research, I have, without a shadow of a doubt, in my heart and the documents showing that he is a part of our lineage. Now, to say that he's passing for white or he is black, I personally wouldn't say that. I would say that he has black blood in his veins.
Man, that's crazy, man. That'd be crazy if he was, man. After hearing about how dirty he was and how grimy he was, that's crazy. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Appreciate all my moderators. Appreciate everybody in here. Let's keep it going. I know. Let's get to this moon landing. I know y'all want to laugh, man. They think they can't trick us no more. We ain't stupid no more, man. We can't, like, this ain't motherfucking 1958 back then or something. You can't trick us no more.
But is it real?
जी हाँ, आप अपने स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम Lander module.
The India moon landing looks like an Atari video game. And people are, we did it. We did it, guys. We landed on the moon. I have a camera right now, which is showing every part of my body and can show you almost like the detail of like 4K. But the camera used for the moon landing is like pixels, like Atari or Nintendo. But the camera I'm using has like 4K, can scan my retinas, can tell me my hair color, all kinds of things. But the cameras used for the moon landing are like pixelated Atari graphics. Beep, 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 beep. Like looking at Donkey Kong. Trillions of dollars on our space programs. Trillions and trillions of dollars. For somebody to dress up in an aluminum foil suit and pretending to be jumping around on the moon, or simulating what it would be like if we were on the moon. Meanwhile, they're in Scottsdale, Arizona, right down the street, simulating what it looks like for a moon landing. But then they
Hey, I'm laughing hard right now, y'all, because I'm embarrassed because I thought the moon landing was real for a long time. When I was young, you know, I was like, I didn't, you know, and it's funny because I'm looking at India moon landing is horrible. They just landed in 2023. They just landed last year. They should have like good footage and all type of stuff and everything. Y'all see how that shit look? Man, come on.
Film it with Hollywood CGI and Hollyweird and all that situation, and then they broadcast it back to the people that they've landed on the moon, and we sent our little rover onto the moon, and you guys got to watch the camera, so it must be real. So you have to ask questions about everything that you're showed, because it's just a mockery.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm not gonna break it. Let me ask you anything. Deck's on, Mark.
And I got a question, y'all. They tricked the shit out of us. But listen, I got this question. The moon landings, who was filming? What, they had a satellite up there filming, or like who was doing this filming? Like they had a camera built in on the fake ship they had, or the whatever. Who was doing the filming? Man, this shit crazy, man.
That max acceleration? No. Man, you are really bouncing.
Critically looking at the visuals.
Look at that. Let me get to the line.
हाँ, आप अपनी स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding.
Last week, the Indian Space Agency allegedly landed an unmanned spacecraft and rolled out a rover onto the south pole of the moon. As usual, however, nearly 99% of the footage shown of this groundbreaking event was clear, obvious, and very poor CGI. Why do you suppose NASA, Roscosmos, the Chinese, Indian, and all other world space agencies spend money creating and airtime broadcasting all these computer graphic animations of their expeditions rather than showing us actual video footage? How difficult would it be to have a...
Hey, y'all, they gonna be mad we doing this video, man. I know they gonna be mad about this one and shit. Like, oh, okay, you guys they gonna be mad about this one, man. I can't believe they just trying to trick us like this, man. That is ridiculous.
Few cameras on these crafts permanently recording different angles of the entire flight for us. They allegedly succeeded in having a live telephone conversation between Nixon and astronauts on the moon, broadcast on television over 50 years ago. But with half a century of technological advancement, we still cannot receive live video from these rockets after only a couple minutes of ascent. They always change from live video for the first couple minutes to nothing but CGI for the rest of the journey. Look at these ridiculous cartoon animations and ask yourself, why can't the public just watch the actual live video of the entire journey? Even if only to be recorded and released at a later date, why aren't the public shown unedited video footage from multiple angles of the entire flight duration? Never once has any space mission in history been so transparent as to show full unedited footage.
Who is Stanley Kubrick, y'all? Who is Stanley? I keep seeing y'all put that name in the chat. Stanley Kubrick or whatever. Who was that, man? He said he confessed on YouTube. He went up to the moon or somewhere. Like, say he did, or who was that?
Of their whole expedition. Instead, what we always get is what India's space agency has just given us. A bunch of grown men and women fervently yelling and applauding over pre-made cartoons broadcast as live video. The still shots we are given from the Chandrayaan-3 are of two varieties. First, we have the overly produced, clearly photoshopped, full-color propaganda pieces, like these, which are shown repeatedly alongside claims of India's successful moon landing, without making it explicitly clear that these
Stanley Kubrick is the one that filmed the our fake moon landing, the one the USA did. That's who he is, y'all. He the director of our moon landing, man. Is he still alive? Oh man.
Images were all created by artists long before the mission even started. The second type of still shot we are given are poor quality black and white shots of dirt and a dark background, claimed to be taken on the moon, but are impossible to differentiate from a sandlot or movie set on Earth. Likewise, the short clips of video footage they tease the public with as being authentic are simply 15-second videos of some lander legs approaching a gray background and the rover rolling down a ramp onto some dirt somewhere. Look at the terrible frame rate and artificial appearance of the supposed moon. What bit of this footage proves that India has actually landed on the moon? What about these clips and images is supposed to silence skeptics and convince critical thinkers that this wasn't filmed here on Earth? The entire mission cost Indian taxpayers $75 million, which is equivalent to how much it cost to make the Hollywood space movie Independence Day.
Man, the Indian people paid $75 million for that fake landing, y'all.
Without ever leaving the Earth. It doesn't take much more than this simple charade to delude the gullible general public. But for those of us who have deeply researched this issue and poked endless holes through the lies of NASA and other space agencies, we know exactly what is going on here.
He did Full Metal Jacket.
For those of you who still believe in these Hollywood and Bollywood farces, please do yourself and the world a favor and watch my banned YouTube video, 20 Proofs NASA Faked the Moon Landings. Linked below.
Man, hey, I told y'all Putin be keeping it real, dog.
Buzz Aldrin admits the moon landing.
He laughed at our moon landing, man. Putin, like, man, down going with that artificial shit.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
That's one of the astronauts he just told.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a...
He just told. I love it, man.
Buzz Aldrin admits the moon.
I know they killed Buzz Aldrin. Is Buzz Aldrin still alive, y'all? If he did this and he said, like, if this was, I know they downed him for sure.
Moon landing was
What
fake.
was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Damn.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something.
Fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with.
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio
me
and listened.
Talking about how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said contact light, engine stop, and a few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. This was. So, were you self-conscious about all the? I mean, the entire.
Man.
Here you go, Moon Landing production by Stanley Kubrick.
Oh. Man, do y'all know how many people right now to this day? I go back to the hood right now. I go back to Flint, Michigan right now. I go back to the hood right now. to so many people like, man, listen, y'all know we never been to the moon. They probably look at me like I'm crazy, man. Because they faked it. A lot of people don't even know this, man. Or they just don't believe it, or they just don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about it, but man, they really faked the moon landing. I gotta have a conversation with my mama because I'm like, man, mama, you got tricked out of a lot of shit, mama. You didn't know about the moon landing was fake, and you supposed to be up on all this. Make sure y'all like that, hit that like button, y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Man, I can't believe they tricked us, y'all. And I'm mad because like all our people got tricked. Like the hood got tricked. Like I don't recall nobody like talking about this when I was younger. Like, man, that was fake. The moon landing was fake. Like we never. This shit crazy, man. They just be doing it right in front of our face too. Right in front of our face. Oh boy, Stanley, whatever his name, Stanley Kubrick, whatever. He out cold. I'm gonna have to go watch that Eyes Wide Shut movie. See what y'all talking about, man. What about the people who participated? What about the people who participated in that though? Like the astronauts, the production crew, the actors, actresses, whatever, the sound dude, the lighting dude, all the people who knew about this. Like, man, we faked the moon landing. And everybody in the world think we went to the moon, and all these people who worked on the set, no, y'all faked this shit. Y'all just was just living around this motherfucker like that and just had that on the inside and just trick all the people like that. And man, this shit crazy, man.
Bad news. The good news is I spent the past couple of days tracking down every piece of media that I could that pertains to the moon landing hoax, and we're gonna go over all of it. The bad news is that no matter how obvious it was that they staged the moon landings, and no matter how many times they rub it in our faces in the mainstream media, many people have been bamboozled into believing that landing on the moon 6 times in the span of 3 years is entirely possible. They also think it's reasonable that we haven't even thought of going back in over 45 years. And the fact that NASA has repeatedly admitted that we can't go past low Earth orbit.
This next generation spacecraft will enable America to explore beyond low Earth orbit.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go.
The kinds of technologies that we're
And then they saying all this shit on TV, whatever, these little commercials, whatever. We only can fly, right here. If y'all, if we ain't been, then y'all, everybody know. Like, obviously, it was a fake. Like, it's, man, what's going on, y'all? I mean, I guess we can't do nothing. We know they faked it. Hey, fuck it.
that we're testing out on space station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
Isn't the slightest bit worth worrying about. And by the way, this is the reason why my channel slogan is where sci-fi and fantasy merge with reality. A lot of people misunderstand it, and they think that I'm trying to discredit myself right away by saying that, like, what I'm talking about is fantasy and sci-fi, so it's all fake. What it means is they show us tons of truth in movies, TV shows, video games, etc., but they pass it off as complete fiction. And my videos is where that truth finds its way back to the real world. You know, I like to say anyway. A lot of people make good videos about movies and media and whatnot. As a hardcore movie buff, it's my offering to the real truth seekers out there. We're all a little different, and we all have our own things to offer. Anyway, let's get started on this list. Got a whole lot of good stuff here. In Diamonds Are Forever, while searching for a villain, James Bond finds himself in an underground area where the moon landings are being staged.
Damn, they had it in the movies. Man, look, they've been showing us. That's crazy. That's confirmation right there to they be putting stuff right in the movies to show us stuff and everything, because he ran through a fake moon landing and they faked the motherfucking moon landing, man. Right.
The film Top of the Heap includes a fantasy sequence in which the lead character imagines he is an astronaut participating in the hoaxing of a moon landing in a film studio.
Man, they produced that right in the studio, man. Put it on TV. Everybody thought
the
it
movie
was
Capricorn 1 has nothing to do with going to the moon, but in the film, NASA fakes a mission to Mars, which is essentially the same thing, and something that they will be doing in the near future. But since Stanley Kubrick is dead, and James Cameron and Ridley Scott are getting pretty old, they will probably use J.J. Abrams or Michael Bay, something like that, who knows.
They gotta switch the directors up.
The Shining, which takes place in the fictional town of Sidewinder, Colorado, doesn't mention or show the faked moon landing, but this list would not be complete without it. The Shining was Stanley Kubrick's way of admitting that he was responsible for filming and directing the moon landing hoax, using techniques from his popular movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. The most notable technique is front screen projection. Watch the documentary called Room 237 for a better understanding.
I watched The Shining. How did he put something in there that showed that he was responsible for it? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go watch it again. That movie was crazy though.
Fun fact, the carpet in The Shining was also used in Sid's house on Toy Story. Not to mention the numerous references to Room 237 in Toy Story 3. One when Woody is using the computer. Another one on a garbage truck. And another on the cameras used in the daycare center. It even says Overlook. That's the name of the hotel, Overlook Hotel, Room 237. Here's a scene from the 1992 movie Sneakers.
Okay, boss. This LTX-71 concealable mic is part of the same system that NASA used when they faked the Apollo moon landings. Yeah, the astronauts broadcast around the world from a soundstage at Norton Air Force Base in San Bernardino, California. So, worked for them. Shouldn't give us too many problems. Thanks.
Hey, oh my God. I didn't know. I didn't even know Stanley Kubrick like directed a lot of this stuff and everything. I watched The Shining. The Shining was a good movie. It was crazy. I watched that a long time ago. Good movie. I remember it. It was just like super crazy, but I'm gonna have to watch it again. It's crazy, man. Make sure y'all like the video. I'm just amazed, man. We faked the moon landing. And then India gonna try to do it last year. Y'all, I don't know if y'all seen the beginning of the video, man, but India, they did something too. They just say they landed on the moon last year. And if y'all see that footage, man, that footage look like it came from my old Atari game, man. Super horrible. And I like, how's they tricking us? Like, who is up there filming? We know ain't nobody up there filming, man. Y'all can't trick us no more, man.
The possibility that the moon landing might have been an elaborate hoax? It's a thought that has crossed many minds. The year was 1969, a pivotal moment in history, a time when the United States and the Soviet Union were neck and neck in a race beyond our atmosphere, the space race. The moon landing, an incredible feat performed by the United States, was not just a stride for mankind, but a massive leap for the nation. But what if this monumental event was not all it seemed to be? Conspiracy theories have woven a tale of deceit and illusion, suggesting that this was perhaps the greatest show on Earth, directed not by NASA, but by Hollywood. Could it be that the moon landing, the epitome of human achievement, was merely a well-orchestrated production? Let's dive into the rabbit hole and explore the claims that suggest the moon landing might have been a Hollywood production. Imagine a film studio, bustling with activity, creating one of the most iconic scenes in human history. Welcome to the Hollywood production theory, a cornerstone of moon landing conspiracy theories. This theory suggests that the Apollo moon landings were not the pinnacle of human achievement, but rather the pinnacle of human deception.
Man, I'm gonna have to ask my daughter, man. My daughter, she's 10. I'm gonna have to ask her. I'm gonna ask her if she if she know about the moon landing. I wonder if they teaching her in school some stuff or something. Like, I'm gonna have to tell them the truth, man. I gotta tell them the truth. This shit is ridiculous, man. Human deception. Definitely what it is.
It's a fascinating claim, one that hinges on a series of supposed inconsistencies and anomalies in the evidence provided by NASA. For instance, critics point to the lunar photographs. They claim that the lighting is all wrong, that the shadows are inconsistent, suggesting multiple light sources. a feature of a film set, not the lunar surface. And what about the perfect clarity and definition of the astronauts against the lunar backdrop? Some suggest this is more consistent with a green screen technology than a simple camera on the moon's surface. Then there's the flag, seemingly waving in the moon's atmosphereless environment. How could a flag ripple without wind? It's a question that has sparked many a debate, and of course we can't ignore the glaring absence of stars in any of the photos. A clear, starlit sky is one of the most beautiful sights on a moonless night here on Earth. So why then are there no stars in the pictures taken on the moon? Some theorists even suggest the involvement of acclaimed director Stanley Kubrick. They believe that Kubrick, fresh off his groundbreaking film 2001: A Space Odyssey, was recruited by the US government to direct the moon landing. It's a claim as bold as it is intriguing. But what does this all mean? If the moon landing was indeed a Hollywood production, it would have been a cinematic feat like no other. It would have required an extraordinary level of planning, execution, and secrecy. If it was a Hollywood production, it would undoubtedly be the greatest movie ever made. What if we told you that the original tapes of the moon landing are missing? Yes, you heard it right. The original tapes of one of humanity's most significant achievements have seemingly vanished into thin air.
How? If it was real, how is the tapes vanished? How did they lose that? Come on, man. They lost it because they wanted to lose it. It was fake. They like, we need to erase this shit from history before it's too late. But it's too late. They found out. Who was in charge of this shit? Who gave the okay for this back then? That's what we need to find out. We need to find out who gave the okay. Whoever gave the okay, man, they need to be punished for shit. For sure.
Now, isn't that convenient for those claiming that it was all a hoax? The story goes that in the early 2000s, NASA admitted that they could not locate the original tapes of the Apollo 11 moon landing. These tapes were not just any old VHS sitting in someone's basement. They were slow-scan television tapes, the highest quality video of the historic landing. Their disappearance has understandably given rise to a multitude of conspiracy theories, but let's not jump to conclusions here. NASA has explained that the tapes were most likely erased and reused during a period of severe data tape shortage in the 70s. A disappointing loss for history, yes, but not necessarily evidence of a conspiracy. Now let's switch gears and talk about—
Hold on, y'all. Hey, man, NASA said the tapes might have got... Man, listen to this, man. Hold on, man. Why are they trying to play us like that, man?
Rise to a multitude of conspiracy theories, but let's not jump to conclusions here. NASA has explained that the tapes were most likely erased and reused during a period of severe data tape shortage.
Erased and reused? The moon landing? Erased it and reused?
In the 70s. A disappointing loss for history, yes, but not necessarily evidence of a conspiracy. Now let's switch gears and talk about the famous 2-second delay in radio communication between the astronauts and mission control. Skeptics argue that this delay is much too short for a transmission covering nearly 240,000 miles. However, the scientific community has a pretty straightforward explanation for this. The radio waves used for this communication travel at the speed of light, which means it would take about 1.25 seconds to travel from the Earth to the Moon, and the same amount of time for the return trip. Add a tiny bit of time for the message to be processed, and voila, you get your 2-second delay. These two issues, the missing tapes and the radio delay, are often cited as evidence for the moon landing being a hoax. But when you take a closer look, the explanations are much less sinister and more grounded in reality than you might think. The mystery of the missing tapes and the radio delay continues to fuel speculation. But could these doubts simply be the result of human error and the laws of physics? Or is there more to the story? We leave you, dear listeners, to ponder these questions. Could the Apollo astronauts have survived a journey through the lethal Van Allen radiation belts? This question has sparked a heated debate among skeptics and believers alike. The Van Allen belts, named after the scientist who discovered them, are zones of intense radiation surrounding our planet. Many theorists argue that the radiation levels within these belts are lethal, and it would have been impossible for the Apollo astronauts to pass through them unscathed. On the other hand, NASA contends that the astronauts' exposure was minimal. They argue that the trajectory of the Apollo missions was designed to avoid the highest radiation areas, and the spacecraft's shielding provided additional protection. Furthermore, the astronauts' time in the belts was brief, reducing their overall radiation exposure. Yet the question remains, could the astronauts have truly survived this perilous journey, or is there more to this story than meets the eye? The Van Allen belts remain a hot topic in the moon landing debate. As we journey back to Earth from our moon landing conspiracy exploration, let's recap what we've discovered. We've delved into the Hollywood production theory, which raises questions about the authenticity of the moon landing footage. We've also looked into the missing tapes and radio delay, two aspects that have fueled skepticism over the years. Furthermore, we braved the Van Allen radiation belts, a dilemma that's been a hot topic in this debate. These theories, claims, and counter-arguments have certainly given us plenty to ponder. It's important to remember that while these theories are intriguing, they are just that, theories.
Hey, y'all, so listen. My bad for stopping blood. I'm laughing because, first of all, I'm looking at some of this stuff and it's just funny to me. Like, damn, they tricked everybody like this. It don't even look good. Some of the stuff ain't even looking good. But second of all, I'm laughing because I'm mad. Like, damn, NASA, y'all get all this money. Y'all been lying. Like, so what if they just producing these fake moon landers and these fake missions? I guess they be acting like they going up there, or I guess whatever. What is they doing with all that money? Don't NASA get like a whole bunch of, like, ain't they getting like a lot of money or something? Like, what the fuck is they doing with all that money if they faking and stuff and doing little productions and everything? Like, where's this paper going, y'all? I'm mad, man. Fuck NASA, man. I don't even want to see the NASA logo or none of that. Like, man, if y'all don't get that fake shit out of here.
It's up to each
my boy Trump. I know my boy Trump probably go defund they ass.
of us to investigate, question, and form our own conclusions. The moon landing conspiracy is a complex puzzle with many pieces, and only through rigorous scrutiny can we hope to see the full picture. So was the moon landing an epic human achievement or an elaborate hoax? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think. If you're craving more content like this, smash that like button and don't forget to follow us for your daily dose of conspiracy theory videos.
Reasons why people think the moon landings were faked. Part 1. Neil Armstrong's giant leap for mankind took place 54 years ago, assuming he actually stepped foot outside of the Earth's atmosphere. According to skeptics, Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin acted out their mission on a covert film set, perhaps deep beneath Area 51 or high in the Hollywood Hills, as the US government desperately tried to win the space race from the Soviet Union. Here is alleged proof that the moon landings were faked. 1. The Flags Movement. Doubters claim that a video of Aldrin placing a waving American flag on the moon demonstrates that he was not in space.
Right. There's no wind. Like, there's no wind in space, right? Or something. It wouldn't have been like blowing or something, right? I don't know.
They assert that the movement of the flag clearly demonstrates the existence of wind, but because there is no atmosphere and therefore no wind on the moon, why is the flag still waving?
Right.
2. The moon landing photographs contain shadows. Look attentively at the shadows made by astronaut Neil Armstrong and another object that is just out of frame in the photograph below. Why are they flawed? Doubters have used this photograph as evidence that the moon landings were staged. Surely the shadows should be parallel if the sun were the only source of light. This suggests that the entire scenario was staged in a studio, with several light sources casting various shadow patterns. 3. No stars in the moon landing picture. Here is another image of a moon landing that has attracted some attention. Shouldn't the sky be covered in stars if the photo was indeed shot on the moon? Since there is no atmosphere or cloud cover, the view is unobstructed and spectacular. According to conspiracy theories, the absence of stars in the images taken during the Apollo 11 mission shows that the event was staged. NASA just decided not to include any stars at all because they couldn't have captured the whole wonder of the lunar sky in their simulation.
Man.
Wanted to give you the opportunity to swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon? If you really walked on the moon, why would you not do that? So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Cyril, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Yeah, $5,000 cash. You can give it to charity if you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon. Why don't you swear to... Why not? Why won't you do it?
Mr. Cyril has made a fool of himself in front of the world. Mr. Cyril, you do not deserve answers.
Why won't he swear on the Bible? Is there something that was not told to the public? Did they actually not go to the moon? In the next clip, they are asked the meaning of going to the moon. Could they simply be tired, or is the guilt too much? TikTok. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
I believe that what this country set out to do was something that was going to be done sooner or later, whether we set a specific goal or not.
While answering, Buzz Aldrin was very vague and never really specified what their goal was. Why is that? Is there something more to this?
Oh my God, we gotta laugh at them, y'all. With a horse. They didn't go to the moon. They didn't go to the moon, y'all. They lied. They lied. Did y'all see them in that interview? Like, they didn't even want to say nothing. They like, dog didn't even want to swear on the Bible. Like, if I went to the moon, I was like, man, I'll put my hand on that motherfucker so fast. Like, man, we went up there. What are you talking about? Man, you could tell they didn't go. That energy from them, Neil Armstrong, nah. Then Buzz Aldrin already, like, yeah, it was fake, y'all. So it ain't like, I don't think, I mean, you know, these videos are for entertainment purposes only. But that moon landing right there, you know what I'm saying? That ain't no motherfucking conspiracy, man. They faked this out, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shame on NASA. They getting all that money. They tricking us. Acting like they went to the moon, didn't go to the moon. India just tried to trick everybody, but they shit look so horrible. I don't know who they had produced theirs. Whoever they had produced theirs over in India. Ain't India the country where they be doing all the scamming at? That explains why they moon landing look like that. Ain't that where they be calling and doing all that damn scamming, y'all, in India? When them people be calling and everything. I think that's exactly where the scamming coming from. So that's why they moon landing look like that. I understand that. Don't let them trick y'all. Don't let them trick us no more, y'all. Make sure you're telling your kids the truth. Let's wake up together. Appreciate everybody who tapped in today. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see y'all in a second, man. It's your boy Thou, FamOverTV. I love all y'all. Appreciate my moderators. Appreciate all y'all. Peace.
Fam over.